It's now time for Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, live on the Woodward Sports Network. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m. Starring Ryan Ermanni, Michigan great and former NFL baller Braylon Edwards, and of course, Tom Mazawey. Let's talk some sports.
Hey, let's go. Wednesday show, July 26, 2023. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com, fox2detroit.com. If you are watching live, we got JB, we got Parker, Braylon Edwards. Good afternoon to you, my friends.
What's the deal, my guy? How you feeling over there?
I tell you know what day today is?
Wednesday.
Haircut day.
Haircut. I did see you in the chair.
I was, for 50 minutes
in heaven
pre-show, I was with my girl Becca getting a haircut here at Lady Jane's, 15 in Woodward, where we are at the palatial studios of Woodward Sports.
You said what?
Palatial,
palatial
studios.
Okay.
At Woodward Sports, the headquarters here of Lady Jane's.
That was dangerous.
My goodness, I am in a good mood.
I went to walk around. I'm looking for Ryan. All of a sudden, I'm walking through the salon. I look to my right, and Becca's like, "Shh, Maz."
I was
I
out.
look. Ryan is out cold, towel over his eyes. Becca's doing the massage,
the scalp massage.
massage. And he is out cold.
Yeah.
Out cold.
She knocked me out.
I really wanted to give you the shake, and she went.
She would never let you do that.
She wouldn't let me
She
do
would
it.
never let you do that.
You're looking good. I'm glad you're happy.
Walked in, came around the corner, saw Becca, saw you. Hadn't seen Becca in a while. Saw you. You looked like you were in heaven, man. So I didn't want to bother you too much. I said, hey, I shot the breeze with you for a cool second, and then I got up out of there. But Ryan, I told you I'm back swimming now.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
Swimming in the morning,
yeah.
getting after it a little bit, trying to get into shape again. I've been getting out of shape ever since I met you guys. I'm not blaming you guys, but I haven't been my true self. So, been
I'd
working
love
out.
to be as out of shape as you.
But see, I know how out of shape I am. You may not know. I know how out of shape I was, keyword was. But man, working out the why it's funny, working out with the older folks. So today, walked in there, and before.
Anybody walk around naked?
It's every day.
Every day.
It's every day. I got to go in there with my blinders on now, man. My eyes down to the ground, like immediately down to the ground. Because I project out a
You should
little
be
bit.
handing out robes to these guys.
You know what? They wouldn't take them, man. They're set in their ways. But I will say this, though. I heard the basketball bouncing on the floor on the gym floor. I said, you know what? I ain't put them jumpers in a minute. Let me get out here and shoot some jumpers. Ryan, it was two guys playing. I thought they were playing one-on-one, but the game was taking extremely long. It was the funniest game of miss because they didn't make any shots. So clearly they were trying to miss these shots. Old guys, once again, they do not care because they were missing. And I watched this game for about 12 minutes. I saw one shot going in 12 minutes. And they kept playing. I thought, I'm in awe of going into Y in the morning now. Man.
You know what's speaking of that, you know what's going in at the end of my driveway today? Well, just the start of it. It finishes up next week. But ever since I was probably 6 or 7 years old, I've wanted a basketball hoop at my house.
You never had one?
I've never had one. I'm 44 years old. I finally today they are pouring digging the hole in the concrete to get a basketball hoop at the end of my driveway. A lifelong dream for me. It may sound simple. It's the small joys in life. I always wanted a basketball hoop. I am getting the basketball hoop.
I've always had one. I've always had one on my garage. Always had it up on the garage. When the guys were putting a new roof on the garage, they were like, "Hey, Tom, what do you want me to do with this?" I'm like, "I want you to reinstall it." But they're like, "We're gonna put holes in the." I'm like, "I don't care. Reinstall the damn thing. I won't go anywhere unless there's a basketball hoop." It
is incredible. I've always wanted one. It's so cool to like. I think the anticipation of wanting something and then eventually getting it. That's makes it worth it for me. Braylon, you're gonna have an exciting night tonight, perhaps.
If it doesn't rain after you jinxed it.
I didn't jinx nothing.
You did jinx it.
I didn't jinx nothing.
Ladies and gentlemen, I told this gentleman that I was going to see Shohei Ohtani tonight down at Comerica Park, and the first thing that he says to me is, "If it doesn't rain." Come on, Ryan. That's not how you do that.
Oh man, maybe they'll get it in, Bray. Maybe they'll get it in.
What a guy.
Maybe there'll be a slight delay. Go assault a buffet with Maz in the Tiger Club. He's not going.
Maz isn't going.
I got spurned tonight.
Oh, man.
Spurned by the Tigers? because they said the press box was too crowded with out-of-town people and spurned by Drew. Drew's actually going to go to the game.
Wow,
and Jimmy Valou is taking Braylon and the kids. I got no one to go with tonight, so I'm going to go home. But you know what? My aunt is trying to sell 4 tickets to Beyonce tonight downtown. So watch out. It's going to be crowded down there.
Can I get some sort of a breaking news stinger? Just some sort of sounder. Breaking news. I've got some breaking news that literally... Breaking news. This just happened at 2:03 p.m. Tonight's Detroit Tigers LA Angels game has been postponed due to the forecast of severe inclement weather. Tonight's game between the Detroit Tigers.
There he goes. I'm sorry, Bray.
At Comerica Park.
Bray.
Has been
Bray, come here.
postponed.
Come here, man. Come on.
Give me a hug, man.
Come on, man.
Oh,
I'm sorry,
man.
buddy.
I told you.
Oh, man.
I told you he was going to do it. I told you.
You screwed the pooch.
Oh,
How
man.
could you?
You never mentioned rain. Oh, my God.
Fans with paid tickets for
Here
Wednesday's
we go.
postponed game may exchange their tickets anytime for any future season game of similar value in the next 12 months, excluding opening day 2024.
Because Shohei's only here one more day. They're not even letting you go to tomorrow's game.
The game will be made up as part of a straight doubleheader tomorrow. First game starting at 1:10. Now he's making phone calls live on the air.
Wait,
put it on speaker.
Doubleheader tomorrow?
Hold on.
Jimmy,
You're live on the air.
you're live on the air right now, brother. The game got postponed because Ryan made a mention about the rain.
Ryan, thank you, man. Thanks a lot, buddy.
It's Ryan's fault.
Hey, Jimmy, at least you don't have to go all the way downtown.
This is true.
When did they say when it's rescheduled for?
Well, there's a straight doubleheader tomorrow. First game starts at 1:10. The second game, 40 minutes after the conclusion of that. The only tickets valid for tomorrow's doubleheader is if you have tickets for tomorrow's 1:10 game. Tickets for today do not get you into the stadium tomorrow.
Wowzers.
How about that?
All right, I'll hit you after the show. We'll figure it out, brother.
Oh, man. Is that kidding me or what?
I told you, you jinxed it.
You
Damn.
just screwed Jimmy's kids out of a beautiful night.
I didn't
On
screw
top
anything.
of the dugout.
How are you blaming me for this?
Poor Braden, poor Gracie,
Oh,
Great
man.
kids, too.
poor Jimmy V.
Oh, man.
All they want to do was go hang out with their Zazie Braylon.
Damn.
This guy right here, man.
Oh, man.
So Beyonce's got it all to her own now.
Yeah,
downtown.
she does. Yeah, she does. Tom,
That's why they canceled it.
well, at least now,
Could
if you're not going to enjoy it, nobody's going to enjoy it.
I know, but now I'm going to try to get a ticket for tomorrow, which will get me in at least the nightcap.
Oh, there you go.
Right? I'll miss the day one, but I want to get in the nightcap.
You get it in the nightcap
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Smart man.
All right.
Smart man.
Let's go.
So double back tomorrow.
You're always working.
Always
Guys,
one.
Were
always
you
2 steps
working
ahead.
last night during the bowling?
Oh, I got to be honest with you.
Uh-oh.
Sounds like an excuse.
It's my fault that my team
No.
Dan Campbell.
lost the last game
No.
and lost 3 out of 5 points.
No.
4 out of 5 points was my fault. And it probably cost us the championship.
Hey,
No
man, it's
no
okay to
turkeys,
just might as
huh?
well say 5 out of 5. I mean, you already went from 3
We
to
took
4.
1 out of 5.
Damn.
No turkeys last night for you?
I had 6
He
in a
was the
row in the
turkey.
second game.
Uh-huh.
I had the first 6
Was
in a
the
row
turkey.
and wound up with like a 2:30 game. I just petered out at the end. I sucked.
That's a 6-bagger.
Yes, I threw the front 6, as they say, halfway to a perfect game, and I crapped out and I blew it for my team.
What a shame.
And I'll have
That's
to
tough.
live with it now for the rest of the damn summer.
What about some uplifting news?
Okay, I've got some
I feel like we
okay,
went from
ready?
No Tigers
Okay,
game.
here's some
Maz
uplifting
screwed
news.
the pooch.
Here's
you
some
jinxed me.
God, I
and
sucked.
Timmy V.
One,
Give me some good news for the people out
One
there.
other piece of news today, okay?
Is it good for the people?
I don't know if this
Oh
is
my
good or
God.
not. But listen to this, okay?
right.
So a former military intelligence officer turned whistleblower
Already sounds bad.
told Congress today that everybody is being kept in the dark about unidentified anomalous phenomena.
Good.
That is what we call UFOs.
Right.
They said the two individuals today that testified, two whistleblowers that testified to Congress today, said that the United States does have non-human biological matter. So that would be aliens.
Yes.
And that
Or the life forms.
several of his colleagues have been, quote, injured.
Wow.
Now, when you say injured, is this like
dealing with these.
Is this
like the crop duster in Independence
Dude.
Day that said he got probed?
Now, let me tell you, I have been called many things. Conspiracy theorist, sucker for
Right.
believing in aliens my entire life. When you have very serious people like this, just a question about like whatever, very serious people who have dedicated their lives to the United States government, who come out and they blow the whistle on this because they believe that the American public should know the truth
Right.
about what is out there. Do you believe them at least a little bit? Like, even if you say there are no aliens, that is not true. That's stuff you see in the movies. Do you believe them a little bit?
I would say this: look, you have to be some type of arrogant to believe that there isn't life outside the
Thank
Earth.
you.
You have to be some type of arrogant to believe that in this vast universe, this universe that exists of galaxy on top of galaxy on top of galaxy on top of millions of light years behind in the past and in the future, you got to be some type of plumb dumb fool to believe that there's no other life forms out there. I always knew. I always believed. They've been putting it in our face since the 1947s. Yeah, since the 1940s, showing you, or 50s, excuse me, with film and cinema. At the end of the day, you got to start believing. Now, what exactly that entity of those things are, don't know. Don't want to know, but I know they exist. As I was just finishing watching Secret Invasions with the scrolls that are invading.
Listen, as a lifelong Twilight Zone lover,
Oh, man.
yes, I believe Rod Serling was always telling the truth. There's something out there. I just don't want to know about it, to tell you the honest
You don't
truth.
want to know.
Yeah.
I don't want to know. What am I going to do against
Right,
them?
you're not doing nothing.
What am I doing?
You ain't
You
doing
can
nothing.
prepare.
I'm not doing anything.
You're not doing anything.
You can prepare.
Prepare for what?
I don't know. It sounded good.
I don't
coming
wanna
out of my
know.
mouth.
You don't want to know.
Just wipe me off. That's it.
JB Parker, you guys want to
See
know
ya.
anything about this? I know you guys were discussing this prior to the show.
I mean, I'm definitely curious. I'm definitely curious, like, because they said matter. That doesn't mean
Right.
humanoid or like some type of like human type figure. So could it be like a
I mean, they
like a
smoked
venom
you.
type?
No, no. That'd be a symbiote. I don't know.
Non-human.
No
JB, are you
symbiotes.
into the
No
non-human?
symbiotes.
What are your thoughts here?
No.
Yeah.
Just stay far away from this. You know that chart that says F around and find out? Stop messing around, okay? Independence Day is gonna happen, and we do not want this.
But this is
That's
America.
the clip right there.
You know, F around and find out. That's it. But this is America. This is what we do. This is human civilization. All we want to do is we keep poking the bear. We keep coming up ways to fund and create our own demise. AI, it's no different. It's no different.
Guys, big show for you today. John U. Bacon is going to join us. We'll talk about Jim Harbaugh and the impending suspension. He speaks with the media tomorrow at Big Ten Media Day. Mel Tucker spoke today. But earlier this afternoon, the game time for Michigan State came out. It is another night game. My question to you guys is television ruining college football for you? Is television killing the vibe of college football for you? I want to ask you that. We're going to take some phone calls as well. But first, a message from 5 Iron Golf.
Oh, shoot. I was trying to get his attention to tell him something else.
Tell him something first.
So when he put my head on
Tell me about 5 Iron Golf first.
I'll tell you about 5 Iron Golf. Downtown at the Cambria Hotel is now open, and also they have their Thursday night golf league. You want to be a part of it. It's Woodward Sports. It's going to be fun. We will be there, myself, Darren McCarty, and other people in Woodward Sports will be there to have a good time. Look, it's going to be hot this summer, especially August. It's going to heat up. You want to do some things downtown, want to do them indoors? Well, go down to Cambria Hotel to 5 Iron Golf, where you can see guys like Darren McCarty, 4-time Stanley Cup champion.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network. You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper. Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Woodward Sports on YouTube. Hit that like button for us as well. Subscribe. Over 45,000 subscribers on this platform. Braylon Edwards, the game time is out. Michigan State, October 21st, will once again be a night game, this time in East Lansing at 7:30. Michigan will also play a night game at home against Purdue on November 4th at 7:30. Both games are on NBC, in addition to, I believe it's the Bowling Green game that is also a night game. Braylon,
what?
I have been...
Bowling Green's a night game?
I believe so. I have been a college football fan above the NFL. I think we're pretty unique here in this state because we've had such success with Michigan and Michigan State. We have had the ability to almost be bigger college football fans here than NFL fans.
I was laughing. The guy fixed his do-rag.
Oh my God, that's so funny. You can't see it.
He's looking
he
good.
Can't tell. Yeah. Either way, but I think in this state, Ray, there is a faction of us that are much bigger college football fans than the NFL because our teams here have been good. Michigan has been good. Michigan State has been good. The Lions have not. So there's just a love of college football. I feel like that love, for me anyway, has been chipping away. Each and every year, something happens. Maybe it's NIL, maybe this night stuff, transfer portal. Little by little, my love for the game itself is chipping away. I hate that Michigan State is a night game. Can't even stand it. I hate it when Michigan plays home games that are night games. I want no part of them.
There are two at home.
Two at home now.
They got the lousy game against Bowling Green,
I think,
which could be something a little closer.
No.
Now that Jim Harbaugh's not there.
It's not.
And then you got Purdue.
You could coach that game.
I know. Well, you got Purdue in November, also in Ann Arbor, also at 7:30 at night.
Did you try to say the Bowling Green
No,
game?
I'm only
just
kidding.
stop it.
Let me address that. But to your point, it's very annoying. Look, the prototypical Saturday looks just a little something like this. Ryan, unless your team, which happens to be Michigan, which happens to be my team, unless your team, our team, is playing Wisconsin, and Wisconsin's one of those years where Wisconsin is undefeated, they got one loss. Unless they're playing Ohio State, which will never be a night game, unless they're playing that Texas game next season, unless it's a game in which you don't mind being a prime time game, going over your friend's house, going to some tailgate, getting it cracking, it's going to be a lot of fun. Unless it's a game like that, the prototypical Saturday for me, I like waking up, watching a little bit of Big Noon Kickoff, see my boy Brady talk some stuff. I like watching the first couple games with putts around. That 3:30 game is when I dial in. I like my team to play around 1 to 3:30 because I like the game to be over with so now I can talk about what Michigan did and my night's over. Doesn't matter who plays in the night game. Doesn't matter who plays in the game of the week on Saturday. I like Michigan to be done so I can talk stuff about what they did, what that game was, and be done with it. I don't want to have to watch Bowling Green at 7:30 to find out Michigan beat them by 500. I don't want to watch another game where Michigan State, who is a horrible team this year, let's face it, they'll be bad again this year. I don't want to watch that game. I saw it last year and it wasn't a good one.
I don't even think it's safe, to be honest with you. In all seriousness, after what happened last year, And after what's going to happen on the field this year, I don't think it's safe for a Michigan fan to be out there in East Lansing this year with all those crazy Spartan fans. I really don't. I mean, I know what happened last year, and the tunnel was limited to the tunnel, but this rivalry is so toxic now. It has been totally toxic, and anytime you try to pour water on the flames, it doesn't matter. Something pops up again, and the way these Spartan fans are talking about the Harbaugh impending suspension is just like, it's like needle, and you keep poking, man, and it just explodes. So I don't believe this is a good idea or in the best interest of the quote-unquote student athletes and their fans to put this game at night. And it's got nothing to do with the drinking, maybe a little bit to do with the drinking.
It should.
But you're going to be out there lubed up all day. You've got like this pressure cooker among fans.
Yeah.
I think this is a terrible, terrible idea, and the Big Ten shouldn't let it happen.
I love the things that come up on this show. Lubed up, that's a funny sight. The interesting thing that I think about is this. Michigan is going to take care of the tunnel situation. Last year, that tunnel situation, as much as Michigan State's players were disrespectful, as much as they let their institution and their football team down, Michigan's tunnel situation wasn't a good one, and it hasn't been a good one for years. So Michigan will do their job as it relates to protecting both teams, making sure that no players get into it with other players, no cops, nobody. Michigan will take care of that part of the business. The night game part of it, though, that's nasty against Michigan State. And the reason why, your team's not good. If I was Michigan State, I would be lobbying for this to be a day game. You know why? Because I don't want the whole country, to watch the University of Michigan, our rival, drag our ass through the mud. Because that's exactly what Michigan is going to do at 7:30. Michigan State is not built to handle Michigan this year. Playing that late, all you're going to do is have the whole country watch you get your ass whooped. If I was Michigan State, I'd be talking to the new, what's his name, Petitti? I believe the Big Ten commissioner now is Petitti.
Tony Petitti.
I would be talking to him and saying, hey, look, can you get this game at 3:30? Is there any way you can squeeze it? Can you get it at noon? I don't want people watching it at 7:30 primetime ass whooping.
As bad as the Michigan
State
State
game.
Well, I know, but they always play tough. There's no blowouts really in this series.
Yeah, last year was a blowout.
Not really.
29-7.
It really wasn't a blowout.
Okay, either way, fine.
It was mercy, is what it was.
I'm just saying, it was an ugly game.
Yeah.
Were you ever comfortable in that game?
No, it wasn't ugly.
Michigan State was driving to score a touchdown.
It was an ugly game. It was not a.
Okay.
But I didn't have any fun watching that game either. It was 29-7. I didn't have 1 ounce of fun watching that game.
I'm just saying, my daughter, who is a Michigan State student, season ticket holder, was praying that this would be a night game. She's saying, Dad, it's going to be a whiteout probably. We're really going to have a great time. My kid likes to go to the game, and she wants some action in the game. So the Michigan State students are probably really excited that at least they're getting a night game out of this. Maybe they could make the stadium look good like Penn State does. I can guarantee you it'll be a whiteout or a neon green out or something. And maybe keep it close with Michigan this time.
But it's not about what East Lansing wants. I could care less what
they're home.
I could care less what the students of East Lansing want. You say it's like a whiteout. The whiteout, Big Beaver Stadium, talking about 112,000 strong, talking about a team that shows up on primetime TV. We're not talking about Penn State. We're talking about Michigan State. If you're the Big Ten, wouldn't you want to put a 7:30 game? Wouldn't you want to use your team? The number one team that has gotten the most votes, number one in the Big Ten right now, is the University of Michigan. That's your brand right now. That's your golden goose. Wouldn't you want that goose to be playing a team that mattered in a night game, not a team that's bummed, that's going to make the Big Ten look like what it did last year, which was horrible? I would definitely not want to waste Michigan against Michigan State as a primetime game if I'm the Big Ten. It just doesn't make sense.
Guys, let me put the phone number out to you. Are we making too much of this, or are you like us where you hate the night game? 313-552-6322. 313-552-6322. I never liked the night game. And I certainly don't I never liked watching the night game on TV. And you will never see me at a night game. Ever. I went to the Notre Dame Michigan game, the first one at the big house. It was fine. That was it. I'm done.
Let me phrase it like this. Let me take Michigan and Michigan State out the scenario. Sometimes it's hard for Michigan State people and people to get Michigan and myself Let me remove Michigan from the equation. Unless it's Ohio State and Penn State playing at 7:30, unless it's Michigan and Penn State or Ohio State, unless it's a good Wisconsin team playing against a really good Ohio State team, which they're usually always good. Like, those are the games you want to see at night. I don't want to see a game I know it's going to be a blowout, or I know one team isn't up to snuff that particular year. And right now, Michigan State isn't up to snuff. If I'm the Big Ten, you want those games, those to be seen across the country. You want them to be memorable games. You want them to be games in which, damn, Penn State look good. Damn, that Iowa team, okay, they're talking about something. Not a Michigan State team that just lost their quarterback to the transfer portal, the wide receiver to the transfer portal, and Michigan beat them 29-7 last year. It's a waste of a primetime game, is what I'm saying. I would prefer to see a really good Penn State team versus, who else is in the West?
NBC. This is their first run into Big Ten, right? NBC's got part of the Big Ten. CBS has part of the Big Ten. It's all new now.
Fox, Big Ten Network, Peacock.
They're all over the place now. So there's going to be a lot of Big Ten games at night. There's a whole list of them right there. And I gave you the Michigan games as well. Michigan's got 3 night games, man. And Michigan State's got 3 night games. And they got that game on Black Friday, which is going to be on national TV.
To me, television is ruining
college
football.
They're suffocating it.
Again, you don't even know. You used to know where you could watch the games. Now you don't know if the game is on Fox, ESPN, ABC, NBC, CBS, Peacock, Big Ten Network. I just listed to you 7 networks that potentially could play Big Ten college football games this year. That's no way to run a league. That's no way to run an operation.
It's sloppy.
It's just not.
It's right here with it, man. It's just money. Everybody wants the money. They're showing these streaming sites, these broadcast sites, these dollars that it relates to the CBA's collective bargaining agreements. It relates to the TV deals. That money is through the roof right now, and everybody wants a piece. Everybody wants a little slice. I don't blame them, but I agree with you. It's just annoying. Like, if it's a night game, like a night game, man. Like, when I turn on that TV at 8:15 to watch that ESPN or ABC, depending on where it's going to be at, where it used to be at, that primetime game, man, I'm looking for Alabama, LSU. I'm looking for Georgia and Tennessee now. I'm looking for Washington and USC. I'm looking for Michigan and Ohio State, Penn State, and whoever's dominating the West of the Big Ten right now. That's the games I'm looking for. I'm not looking to turn on at 8:15 like, man, it's going to be the game of the week tonight. I got to watch Purdue play Nebraska. No, thank you.
You know what this tells me, guys? NBC is in the game now, right?
Yeah.
Who is on NBC
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame is going to be. Remember they said they wanted to triple their media rights? They ain't going to be on NBC solely anymore. That's what this tells me. Notre Dame is going to be joining a league really soon.
They can't not. You know what I mean? They can't not. There's going to be these 2 mega conferences, the Big Ten and the SEC, and you get to pick one if you want to be a part of the big boy operation of college football. If you want to be a big boy in college football, you're going to have to join the Big Ten or the SEC, and that's it. All these other ones, the Big 12, the ACC those will dissolve or be very meaningless. Maybe you'll have 1 or 2 teams in each of those leagues that would be good and can compete on some level with a Big Ten team or certainly an SEC team.
Yeah, the problem too is like the pool. You got these teams you got the ACC conference. It's the Atlantic Coastal Conference for a reason because it's on the Atlantic coast. They're talking about pulling teams to their side. It's hard to pull teams from the Pac-12 to try to come all the way over there to the Atlantic coast, you know what I'm saying, when you want to play games. So guys are going to have to make a decision. For the Pac-12, it makes more sense. Big 12, because they're closer. For the Big 10, makes more sense. You guys like USC and UCLA. We'll see how that plays out.
We have cap or no cap, top of the hour. At 3:30, in about 1 hour from now, John U. Bacon will join us. Coming up next, the latest on Jim Harbaugh and his suspension. Plus, Dan Dockich hates Jim Harbaugh. You'll hear what he has to say about the Michigan Wolverines football coach next. But first, a message from Fairway Packing Company. For over 60 years, Fairway Packing Company has provided Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef, Wagyu beef, and dry-aged beef. You can experience the Fairway difference for yourself today. Visit those grab-and-go steaks at the steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods. Order online, fairwaypacking.com, fairwaypacking.com.
Source, aged, prime, packed to perfection.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. Because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network. We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage. Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Woodward Sports Network on a Wednesday afternoon in the city of Detroit. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Hopefully everybody stays safe today. We're supposed to get some impending severe weather.
Yeah, I bet.
If you are watching this live, the Tigers game tonight has already been postponed.
Tell them why, though.
Because according to Braylon, I jinxed it.
You jinxed it.
Braylon has seats on the Angels dugout tonight.
They're gone.
They have since vanished. So not happening.
Hey, by the way, rest in peace to Sinead O'Connor.
Absolutely nothing comparing
56
you.
years old, young.
Damn.
Oh, yeah.
Passed away. That sucks.
Yeah. We don't know. Do we know the cause of death?
Not really.
Terrible.
I think
what's
first
the
time I
difference?
saw her
Such
was
a
on,
loss.
yeah.
My goodness.
First Principal.
Dang.
Too young.
Too young. Absolutely. Guys, okay, so a couple of news and notes from college football. First, regarding the Jim Harbaugh. Pete Thamel, I think he's ESPN, isn't he? I think
yes.
I think he's
New York Times. He was New York Times.
Yes.
He is a best-selling author as well.
Yes. Reported today that Jim Harbaugh will be able to coach practice if he is in fact suspended. Harbaugh has not acknowledged that he misled or lied to the NCAA and did not accept responsibility for the recruiting violations. But again, that's a pretty big update. If there is a 4-game suspension, Harbaugh would still be able to coach practice. That is pretty significant.
This is very significant. The thing that's so significant about it is even though Michigan plays the schedule in the first 4 games where none of those teams you're worried about, Maz can go out there and coach University of Michigan.
You and I could.
We could.
Well, you could, but I could
but
too.
you'd be my OC. You
think you can coach?
You'd be the OC. We'll make it happen. The 3 of us will be okay. We would still win those first 4 games. The problem with that is, Ryan, Ermanni, and Maz, is if you don't have the coach there, the players tend to get loose.
Yeah.
I don't care how structured. I don't care if it's Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots when they had Willie McGinnis and they had those guys back.
Teddy Bruschi.
Teddy Bruschi. I was looking for his name, couldn't find it. When they had those guys,
I knew.
And I appreciate you, my brother. I don't care if you're that team. When the main man's not there, guys get a little more lax. Guys get a little more loose. Practice isn't as crisp. Practice isn't as fresh. And then when that guy comes back, let's say after those 4 weeks, and now you got to prepare to go into Lincoln, which is Nebraska, under a fresh coach, Matt Rule, that's trying to make a name for itself. That could be a bad situation for Michigan because this team may not be ready. Any guys would do it, and you're talking about pro guys, college guys, they definitely would get lost in the sauce. So the fact that he can still be the coach, the guys still take them through practice every day, watch film with those guys, still be there when they see him the first day, at 2:30 before practice starts, they see him, they stay on the same track and they're ready to make the transition when he comes back to Nebraska week. So this is really good news for Michigan. Did I think they're going to lose to Nebraska? No. But at the same time, why run the risk? It would be suck if it worked that way.
Okay, guys, so yesterday, Dan Dakich went all in.
He's still all in.
Dan Dakich won an NCAA title with Indiana as a player. He coached Bowling Green. He, longtime ESPN college basketball announcer. His son played for John Beilein at Michigan on the Hoops team.
Radio
show. He had one in Indianapolis. Now he is doing what we do.
What is it about the Indiana University people that hate us? Because Lee Corso hated Michigan because of the infamous game. And then what's the report on ESPN that she does a good job during the
Heather Dinich.
Heather Dinich. She's Indiana.
Yeah.
What's up with all Indiana?
We got Tom Crean. He likes us.
Yeah.
It's true.
So here, just let me fire off some of the tweets that
stay on hold for me, okay?
that Dan Dakich put out yesterday.
Look at these things.
Urban Meyer took a dump, and the moronic college football media was all over him. Jim Tressel had to get had players get tattoos and was treated like a villain. Harbaugh cheats, lies, hires racists and cyber criminals, yet crickets from the fawning media. Jim Tressel got fired for players selling their gear for tattoos, yet Michigan keeps a known cheat that lies to the NCAA investigators. Hell, even IU fired Sampson for cheating, lying. What's Harbaugh got on the dipshits of college football media? Goddamn football media. And then here's another one. Let me understand something regarding Jim Harbaugh. Cheats, lies to NCAA investigators, hires known racist, Shemi. He's a coach has a coach fired for cyber crimes, 2-5 versus rival, 1-6 in bowls. This cheat gets to negotiate a 4-game suspension. WTF is this? How is he not fired?
No, go ahead.
And then this on the video last night too.
Yeah, you do. It's a 1-minute video.
Never mind, Braylon. Go ahead. We'll get that video because that's important to show.
Yes. No, we'll wait for it then. You see it in there? P?
He doesn't have it. What do you think about all this?
We'll figure it out. This is what I think about it all. All that he said, I ignored all that. All that went out the window when I heard this. 2-5 versus rivals, 1-6 in bowl games. What does that have to do with him cheating? What does that have to do with him allegedly cheating? Excuse me, let me get the phrase right, because there was misremembering in the situation. What does that have to do with it? That's a personal gripe. That's a personal grudge. That's somebody that doesn't like Jim Harbaugh. He clearly likes the University of Michigan because his son went there, his kid went there. He probably loves John Beilein, as he should. But this is a personal gripe against Jim Harbaugh. Jim is in the hot water for the situation. We understand. Yes, he broke the rules. He violated. He'll have to deal with it. It'll be his action to bear. But all this other stuff, like, people are making it out like Michigan has been in a cheating space for the entirety of Jim Harbaugh's stance. They're making it in a cheating space like he did something like those guys. To compare what he did, what's been assumed or what's been alleged or what's been accused, to compare that to what Tressel did. I was in college when Tressel was here. Great coach, great team. But the things that those teammates did, the money that they allocated to those players illegally, the things that they were doing, paying players to come to the institution, like Terrell Pryor, like the things that they did, they deserve to get what they got. Same thing goes for Urban Meyer. What he ignored, what he chose to let on the staff, the same exact thing happened to Urban Meyer. Like, these are legit claims, legit causes. The thing with Jim, yes, he's got some situations that he has to deal with, but they are nowhere close with their alleging from those two crooked coaches.
Isn't Dakich and Urban Meyer good buddies?
Well, that was going to be exactly what I was going to say. That's one of his best friends, Urban Meyer. Here, he's got the clip.
Hey, the funniest thing going on in sports right now, it's kind of a tragic thing, is what's going on at Michigan. Jim Harbaugh is a cheat. Jim Harbaugh cheated. And it was big enough for you Michigan fans that Jim Harbaugh then lied about cheating. Now, if it's no big deal, don't lie about it. If you have any integrity, don't lie about it. If you have any balls about you, you don't lie about it. But Harbaugh has none of those, apparently. So not only does he cheat, but he goes in and he lies. Have you heard any of this from the media? Of course not. He also hired a cyber criminal. That's right. He had to fire a guy for cyber crimes. Now, think about that just for a second. He hired Shemi Schembechler. To everybody that knew anything about Shemi Schembechler knew he was a known racist. Not one word from all the children in the college football media. Not one word. Nobody's calling for him to be fired. Compare that with Jim Tressel. Jim Tressel's players sold their own stuff for tattoos, and the media was nuts. Michigan, you got no integrity. I'm embarrassed for you.
So, again, that's a guy right there that has an axe to grind because his best friend is Urban Meyer. That's all that is. And look, I don't mind.
Did his son play?
Huh?
Did his son even play? Did his son get any time?
Andrew, and then I think Andrew.
He rode the bench.
Something happened. He hates Juwan Howard too
because he rode the bench and couldn't play. Yeah. That ain't our fault.
Hey, just a word to everybody. I reached out to Dan Dakich politely, sent him a nice letter. Told him I was a fan of his, and I was, and I am. I did tell him we're Michigan fans. I do a show with Ryan Ermanni and Braylon Edwards, former Michigan superstar wide receiver. We'd love to have you on. We know your stance, but we'd like to discuss it with you, friendly, and have some fun. Never heard back.
There you go.
Just to let you know.
JB, go to the phone lines. I don't have my screen up, so I'll just come to you.
No worries. I will send you guys Deontay.
Hey, Deontay, how you doing? You're on Woodward Sports Network. Thanks for the call, bud.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good, man.
How you been?
What's up?
Oh, what's the word? What's the word?
I'll say, man, the only thing is, Rain, you're the reason why my man brother can't go see whole show Hell Tiny Day, man. Why you have to do it? Why you have to do it, man?
I appreciate
I'm
that, brother.
sorry, man. I didn't mean it.
This guy Ryan over here, man. He jinxed us, man. He jinxed us.
He's the reason because he one of the jealous.
That is what he probably wanted.
He was jealous.
He was a little jealous. What's the word, Deontay? What's on your mind?
I'll say not much, man. I'm just annoyed at the fact why the heck we got to see a freaking Michigan versus Michigan State game at night when we know dang well it's about to be a freaking blowout.
Right.
A prime time game, though. Like, why couldn't it be during the day? Like, during the day, it's like, okay, whatever. We already know about to get destroyed. Going to be about 53, who knows what. But at nighttime, it's like, we just make a good game where you'll be like, wait, is this a blowout? Man, let's go ahead and do something else if that's the case.
Yeah, Deontay, I think we agree with you 100%. You know, we saw last year. There was
Thanks
a
for
night
the call,
game.
Deontay.
Michigan handled Michigan State. Wasn't necessarily a good game. But I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to encapsulate that magic that was created 2 years ago, that Michigan State. The rivalry was back. It was a really good game. I think it was a number 3 watch game all year. I think NBC they're grasping their straws.
NBC's ruining the Big Ten.
They are, but
put up that Brett McMurphy tweet again with the Times.
100%. They may be ruining it, but if your market is dying, NBC's trying to get that foothold in there. I would be, if I'm NBC, I'd be doing the same thing. I would be hoping that I got Michigan and Michigan State, and somewhere along the line, Michigan State had a miraculous year, or Michigan State had a miraculous game against them. I understand why they picked that game. I'm just still mad they did it. If I'm NBC, it's not bad to play that card, because that game usually, like Matt said, is usually a good game. Usually comes down to the wire, and maybe you get lucky like you did 2 years ago, where you'll get a K9 that rushes for 297 yards. God damn it.
How many? 4, 8, 12. So
Still hurts.
On the NBC Big Ten schedule, they were broadcasting 12 games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of the 12 games are night games.
Yep.
They are NBC is single-handedly ruining the Big Ten experience for most of us in the region, in the Midwest, who absolutely like these games at noon or 3:30. Every now and again, the Big Ten Network is going to put some random terrible game.
But it's usually Friday night.
Well, even
they'll have night games.
They'll have a night game,
Yeah,
like a
Friday
Michigan
night,
Rutgers 8:00 game or 7:30 game.
Maryland, Illinois.
Yeah.
If it's not Michigan, are we this upset if it's not Michigan?
I'm upset, yeah, because look at the whole conference.
I said if it's not Michigan. Outside of Michigan, what you only watch Ohio State and Penn State anyway.
No.
What Big Ten games do you watch outside of Ohio State, Michigan,
good.
and Penn State?
I'll watch a lot of them if they're noon or 3:30. Or at 4:00 now, because a lot of these games are for the way the TV is. I absolutely love the ABC ESPN Big Ten game. I don't watch the Big Ten Network a lot. If there's a game, it's just not in my schedule rotation. Maybe it's where the channel is, but I'm not watching a Big Ten Network game. I don't like their announcers. I just don't like the Big Ten Network. I think the Big Ten Network is less than.
Really?
Oh, you know.
Yes.
You don't need my opinion on them.
No.
No.
I mean, do you concur?
Oh, 100%.
I just don't like the Big Ten. If Michigan plays on the Big Ten Network, I'm like, this game sucks.
They're laughable.
They got some good guys there. You don't like their panel?
Howard Johnson. He's been there. I mean, wasn't it Griffin?
Howard Griffin.
He's been there for years. Same rhetoric.
You got the coach.
DiNardo?
Yeah, Jerry DiNardo.
God, no.
You don't like him?
No.
Dave Refson.
I like Dave.
I mean, yeah, like Dave Refson. I'm talking about
Mike Hall.
I'm talking about
play-by games.
I'm not talking about the studio show. I'm talking about the play-by-play, the actual experience of watching the game.
They got play-by-play guys. They share them.
They don't. They use Teddy Lehman, who was a linebacker for Illinois back in the day.
For the Lions.
Exactly. They use Teddy Lehman. They use Joe Perry, who's a linebacker for Ohio State back in the day. You see you laughing over there? Exactly.
All right, I got an idea. I'd like to move, if I can, cap or no cap up next.
Okay.
And then we can just start clean Lions top of the hour.
All right.
Deal?
I'm down.
But first, a message from Outdoor Equipment Company.
Oh, outdoor.
Your childhood may be over, but playtime is not. That's right. Our friends at Outdoor Equipment Company, they are there for you. They're your source for outdoor power equipment sales, service, parts, carrying top brands such as Bad Boy, LS, Tractor, Steel, and more. Servicing the Great Lakes region with locations in Metro Detroit and Greater Lansing. For more, visit us at OutdoorEquipCo.com. OutdoorEquipCo.com, your power equipment playground.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network. How would you like to win not one, but two vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports. A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports. Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com, Tom Mazawey.
Why do I bother?
What do you mean, why do you bother?
Why?
Why are you saying that?
Why do I print stuff out for you?
I need it printed out.
I did.
I need it printed out.
But I see you looking over your shoulder onto the TV when I gave it to you.
Well, you know it happens.
Hey, my bad.
So Michigan does have 8, before we get to cap or no cap, Michigan does have 8 kickoff times set for 2023. Well, at least Penn State and Ohio State are big noon kickoff games. You got that going for you. Rutgers is 12 noon, and East Carolina is 12 noon.
So we got Gus Johnson and Brady Quinn.
Back-to-back weeks.
All right.
That's pretty good.
BQ.
But then, Michigan, God, 7:37. There's going to be 3 weeks of Michigan football because there's a bye week in there.
And you're not going to go.
Hell no.
Why won't you go to a night game when you have the next day off?
Zero chance that you will ever see Ryan Ermanni at a night game.
You're at your own. You're at the big house.
Not even 0.5.
It's because of this. If a game starts at 7:30, you're leaving that game at 11.
Who cares?
It's going to be traffic, and then also he lives in where he lives.
I live there too.
That's a hike.
But
who the hell wants to get
I'll
home?
go an hour to a game. I don't care.
Who wants to get home at 2 a.m. on a Sunday morning?
I like it.
College football is more than, to me, college football is more than about your game. College football, the entire day is the experience.
Okay.
And I think whether it's a noon game, you tailgate, you go to your noon game, and then you watch 3:30 and then the night game. And then if it's a 3:30 game, you're tailgating, you're watching the noon game, maybe at your tailgate, then you leave after your 3:30 game and you've got football on. It's an entire day. I feel like your college football experience is ruined with a night game.
I'm gonna give you guys.
That's just my take.
I'm gonna give you some game. This will help you guys out. What I do is, I go see everybody.
I already know what you do. You leave in the second quarter. I know what you do, so you can be home for the third and fourth quarter.
It's the best.
You and your no traffic rules.
Listen, hey, you know
who cares?
I hate traffic, man. I hate traffic.
I'm from the New York, New Jersey area. You don't know what traffic is till you live there, and I know you did.
Okay, you know where I was going. I was like, you wait a goddamn minute.
Okay.
No, but that's real though.
That's traffic.
I just like to be home. I feel like I accomplished it all. I feel like I got to Ann Arbor. I had some tailgate. I got to share some stories. I got a chance to go inside. I got a chance to sing national anthem. I got a chance to see the first quarter. I got a chance to get out of there halfway through the second. I beat traffic. I get home. I can see the rest of the college football schedule. And I get night game. And I can actually make a decision about what I would like to do with my Saturday. Hey. You know what? I am going to go meet Ryan in Grosse Pointe and have a drink. You know what?
Hell yeah.
I am going to stay at home and sleep.
You think Mike G, and I don't know if he's on the chat today. I haven't looked. Mike G's a season ticket holder. Michigan slappy like us. You think he would leave early to a game? You know how many people would die to have those tickets to go to those games? And you just poo-poo them. I don't get it.
Well, maybe I'm about to say maybe him, not me. I'm not poo-pooing him. I understand how.
I'm not poo-pooing
Back in the day, a night game was an honor.
You didn't ask me. You asked me if I liked it.
Yeah.
I'm not telling everybody that's got a ticket for the Michigan game not to show up. Go enjoy it.
Yeah.
Go do your thing. You do you. You asked me if I was going to go. I don't like them. That doesn't mean that you can't enjoy them.
Oh, I will.
Or you can't enjoy
them. I will enjoy it.
To each his own, correct?
That's it.
Man, let me ask you
I'm
going
to get to the tailgate. They're going to be big screen TVs. I'm going to be watching the game. I'm going to walk into the game. Guess what? The TVs are still on at the game for the other 3:30 games. You're following the game, yet you're at the Michigan game enjoying yourself with your family and friends.
Let me ask you this question. If you had to get up every morning at 4 a.m., would you have the same tune?
No.
Well, that's your schedule. There you go.
I'm just saying he's got the next day off to sleep in.
Then he's got to get up at 4 a.m. the next day.
Well, he don't.
You know what day it is?
It is.
It is Wednesday. That means today is the day where we like to play cap or no cap.
JB.
Cap or no cap.
Do me a favor. Explain the rules of cap, no cap, if you be so kind.
Cap, no cap. Braylon, you're going to go around the room, ask a question to everyone, and we will respond with cap, meaning that is false, it is fake, or no cap, which means there is true.
There we go.
All right.
Look at my hat coming on and off.
I love it.
Look at that. On.
That Babe Ruth cap.
That definitely is a Babe Ruth cap.
I gotta get that T-shirt still.
That's a Babe Ruth cap.
How don't you have the T-shirt?
I gotta get the family those shirts.
Yeah.
I gotta get my family those
That's
shirts.
right.
Brian and Monty, are you ready to come out the gate hot?
Here we go.
You know what? I'm gonna try to get my guy a little riled up a little bit. Cap or no cap, Jim Harbaugh deserves 4-game suspension.
Hell no! That's cap.
Yes.
Hell no.
Why does he
And
deserve
if I
4
was
games?
Jim, I would be defiant. I would show up at the silo. What are they going to do? Tell the officials not to leave?
He could show up like Bobby Valentine.
Oh,
remember?
man.
The fake glasses and fake mustache.
If I'm Jim Harbaugh, I'm in the coach's box upstairs.
What's the guy that was going to all those games and events impersonating the athletes and the players?
I forgot.
He's from here.
Yeah, I know.
Attorney. Cap, no cap.
Cap.
Tom
Just
Mazawey.
pass me by. Cap.
Cap. Parker. Cap,
One
no
game,
cap.
max. One game.
Cap.
Give me all the cap.
JB. Cap, no cap. What you got, brother?
Cap. I said this on the morning show.
No.
If Michigan really wants to stick it to the NCAA, first 4 home games, first 200 people in, get a free cheeseburger.
Oh,
I like that.
I like it.
Nice.
I like it. I don't even have to speak. I think it's cap too.
Nice.
You know those burgers will be on the field, though. They'll be throwing those burgers.
It'll be like the records.
Exactly.
At Wrigley.
That's right.
All right, here we go. Running back. Right now we're talking about the running backs around the NFL. They're not getting their just due. I got a question about a guy from the past. Arguably the GOAT. Really no argument here. Barry Sanders. Cap or no cap? Barry Sanders would have gotten paid in this era.
No cap.
No cap.
No cap. He would have gotten paid. And what may have happened, keep in mind, Dalvin Cook got a second contract. Ezekiel Elliott got a second contract. Christian McCaffrey got a second contract. Alvin Kamara got a second contract. Now, only one of those guys is with the current team that actually gave him the second contract. Getting the second contract hasn't been the issue for a lot of these guys. It's staying with the team that gives it to you. So I say no cap.
All right. Maz, cap or no cap? Barry Sanders, would he have gotten paid in this day?
In this day and age?
Yes, but same running back he was, yes.
He's not Jahmyr Gibbs. What I mean by that is Barry's not a guy that you throw the ball to out of the backfield. He wasn't in on third down most of the plays when they needed a decent chunk of yardage. I'm going to say cap.
Oh,
the great Barry Sanders in this stupid day and age would not have gotten a second contract.
Wow. Tom Mazawey going with the gusto. I like it. You know what, JB? I'm going to go with you. Cap, no cap. Barry Sanders. This day and age, does he get paid?
No cap. Barry Sanders would have gotten paid. He would have somehow figured out a way to either get a deal done with the Lions or, don't want to say this, but another team would have offered him something. So, no cap.
Ryan, Ermanni, and JB, you both got it right. Man, I know this is your opinion, but I'm going to have to say you got it wrong, and the reason why is Barry Sanders averaged throughout his career 1,400 yards a season. He averaged 11 touchdowns a season. And, oh, by the way, he went over 2,000 yards from scrimmage twice, but he stayed averaged around 1,800 yards from scrimmage. He would have mattered in this day and age. He caught the ball out of the backfield. You look here, he's averaging about 370. I think because of what he was so good getting in that end zone, he would have mattered in this day and age and would have got paid.
Boom.
Barry Sanders. All right, Justin Fields seems to think that he could be the first quarterback. And get this, Chicago Bears have never had a quarterback thrown for not 6,000, Ryan. Not 5,000, Ryan.
How many thousand?
Not 4,000, Ryan. The Chicago Bears have never had a quarterback throw for 4,000 yards.
That's incredible.
Justin Fields says he's going to be the first. Cap or no cap, Justin Fields will be the first Chicago Bears quarterback to throw for 4,000 yards. What say you?
I say no cap. I think he absolutely will. I think Justin Fields, I don't think will have a huge season, but I think Chicago may be somewhere in the mix for second place in the division. Well, I think the three, Minnesota, Chicago, and Green Bay, are all going to be lumped together, so that's not saying much. But I think Justin Fields is going to have a significant year. I don't think he makes the jump, obviously, that Jalen Hurts did last year, because Hurts had a better team. But I'd say he will get about 3,500 yards this year, which is a huge upgrade from where he was last year.
It's definitely a huge year. If you remember, Cam Newton had 3,800 when he was MVP, so 3,500 will be a significant jump. Parker, what say you? Cap or no cap? Justin Fields will throw for 4K this year.
With DJ Moore, I think it's no cap. I mean, I think DJ Moore going to the Bears is such a huge upgrade over Chase Claypool. Yeah. I mean, Chase is still on the team, but I think that's no cap. I think easily 4,000 yards in the next, I'd predict 3 years, that one of those years it will be happening.
Yeah, I don't think that happens this year.
Oh, you don't think it's this year? He said he was going to do it this year.
That would be double the output from last year. I don't think the offense will dramatic. He had 2,200 yards passing last year. I don't think that doubles. I don't think he doubles that mark, but I do think he can get 3,500 yards. I think he can go 50% more this year and then make another progression next year. I don't think he gets it this year, but maybe 2 years from now.
Maz?
Yes, sir.
What say you, my brother? Justin Fields says he's going to be the first quarterback to throw 4,000. And it's going to be this year. What say you, cap or no cap?
No, he runs too much. They did just sign Cole Kmet to a new deal, so he's going to be a terrific tight end for them. He can't throw for 4,000 yards this year. He runs too much. I don't think he lasts a year, to be perfectly honest with you.
All right, I understand where you guys are coming from. I'm going to disagree and say that this is no cap. I think he will throw for 4,000 this year. I mean, hell, they played 97 games. So between the 97 games and the wide receivers that they added between Chase Claypool and DJ Moore, like you called it, Parker, I think that he will throw for 4,000. Ryan, you mentioned taking that leap.
Yep.
And that takes me to the next cap and no cap and the next person. It is about Aiden Hutchinson, University of Michigan guy. I want to show you some numbers right now. Nick Bosa's rookie year, he had 9 sacks. Second year, he had 15.5. Well, he missed the second season, so his next year would have been 15.5. Joey Bosa, 10.5 to 12.5. J.J. Watt, 5.5 to 20.5. T.J. Watt, 7 to 13. And Von Miller, 11.5 to 18.5. There is no sophomore slump, it seems, for great defensive end rushers. What say you? Is Aiden Hutchinson going to take that next step like these other Pro Bowl and All-Pro defensive ends?
It's funny you ask that, because that's going to be our next topic regarding the Detroit Lions and all these second-year guys, Braylon. I think he absolutely does. He came in the top 100 rankings at 88. He is the first Lion to do that in 3 years. Be a top 100 player.
And to put some context on that, last year's number 88 was Jonathan Allen, who had 9 sacks and just come off his first Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
So he's averaging exactly what they got.
So I think that's no cap. I think he will absolutely take a giant leap. And another reason I think he'll take a giant leap is because I think the team is better. I think on the back end, those guys are going to lock up some wide receivers So even if it's 2 or 3 hundredths of a second where that quarterback has to think of it for an extra second, I think that gives the advantage to the Lions defensive ends.
Say you, Mass.
Hey, man, this is a guy that made the NFL top 100 this year, coming in at 88. And we could put that tweet up, too, when you get a minute. But congrats to Aiden Hutchinson for getting recognized. Believe it or not, DK Metcalf came in at 101. He didn't make the top 100. Aiden Hutchinson does. I believe this kid is the real deal, and he will definitely take a big step up this year. So I'm going to say no cap.
All right, we're going to continue cap or no cap. We'll do that next, top of hour number 2. But first, a message from Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. Les Stanford has expanded their brands to Buick and GMC. They have located in Ferndale on Woodward, just south of 9 Mile. Of course, bringing the same great service that customers have come to know for over 55 years. Les Stanford now has all 4 GM brands. You can find the GM brand you want under one umbrella. LesStanford.com, LesStanford.com.
Find new road.
Find them.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
Gabby is a college student struggling to study for her big exam. Then she discovered Syntron, a healthy way for her to stay awake and focus. Jennifer frequently has chaotic days like this until she gets online, orders some Syntron, and finds her groove. April visited her local grocery store, purchased a case of Syntron, and entered to win the Syntron 100K Vegas giveaway. Pick up your case of Syntron today at any Meijer location or visit drinksyntron.com/Vegas and enter for the 100K Vegas giveaway.
He is something else. How big is that?
All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
It only happened to us.
Sports Network. Hour number 2 of the program. Thanks to everybody who is watching on YouTube. If you are watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit that like button for us. Let's see if we can get to over 100 likes by the end of this segment. And, of course, subscribe to Woodward Sports on YouTube. If you're listening on Spotify, thank you. However you're doing it, we appreciate you. Braylon and Edwards continuing on with cap or no cap.
Hey, he's pissed me off with that too, man.
I've been pissing Braylon off all day today.
And it's not his fault
Look at
either.
this. Look at this. How about this? Can I just throw this to you real quick?
Go ahead. You gotta have
oh, yeah. Tuck that away.
I was so funny. I was talking to Golf Pro, and he was talking about every time he meets a football guy, he throws a football to him. He said he's always on marbles, and how we always take it to the tuck. I'm like, it's second nature. Like, I can't catch a pass and just like catch it.
Right.
Like,
you gotta take it to the tuck.
I was trying to just catch it and still did it. All right, let's get back. Cap or no cap? Here we go. We got some good ones coming.
Take it to the tuck.
You just saw that Justin Herbert got paid to the tune of $52 million a year over the next 5 years, which means somebody's up to snuff, and that is Joe Burrow. So here you go. Joe Burrow will make 55 or more a year. Cap or no cap?
I'm going to say cap.
Oh, you know what? Let me rephrase that. Because Maz actually now, we talked about it. I'm rephrasing the conversation. Joe Burrow is the kind of guy that seems like he gets the greater good, which is to win the games, right? Not go for the big money, kind of like Patrick Mahomes. Cap or no cap, Joe Burrow will take less to keep his trio together. Good job, Maz.
I do think that's no cap.
Ooh,
I think at some point water has to find its level here. At some point. I mean, you know, it was Mahomes was the highest paid. Then it was Allen. Then it was Jackson. Then it was Hurts. Now it's Herbert. Like at some point,
it's a vicious cycle.
You can't pay everybody else. And at some point, you get some resentment in that locker room. Now, I have not been in an NFL locker room.
No.
But if I'm Saquon Barkley, like just for instance, I got a little something towards Daniel Jones. I do. When I know you are not as good as me, when I know you are not as important to our team's success as I was, I think there does come a point where you create a little bit of a rift within the locker room when you have such disparity in salary, in my opinion.
If I'm Saquon Barkley, I got a chip on my shoulder the size of the Golden Nugget. I'm pissed off at Daniel Jones. Because keep in mind, Daniel Jones asked for $49 million. That's the thing. He asked for 49 and got 42. But
well, his agent asked for it.
You said what?
His agent asked for it.
On behalf of Daniel Jones. That's his job. But, Maz, what say you? Joe Burrow will take less to keep the trio together. Cap or no cap?
I say cap. Because I think Joe Burrow is going to look at that contract and say, what did Justin Herbert do to deserve $52.5 million? I'm 10 times better than him. I should have won a Super Bowl just last year. I'm going to say cap. Joe Burrow will exceed the money that Justin Herbert is getting paid.
But that wasn't the question.
Yeah, it is.
He said $55 million. Justin Herbert got $52.5 million.
I'm saying he's going to make more. He's going to make more than Justin Herbert.
Okay.
He's not going to take less.
If you tell me 53, 54, I'll go with that. But he's not getting it. I don't think he'll do 55.
55 don't mean anything. I'm just saying he's going to get more than Justin Herbert. I don't care if it's 52.6 million.
I was just listening to the question. That's all.
I asked it, and I framed it two ways, and that's why I backed up. I was more so saying, is he going to take less? All right. I'll answer that question. We'll move on. I agree with Maz on that one. I think it's going to be one of those situations where, he wants to take less. He wants to make sure the guys get paid on his team. But he's looking at it from an LSU standpoint. He won a national championship. He is a brand. He was smoking cigars, smoking stogies. He's a brand. He understands the importance of being that brand. Here we go. Ryan, this one's for you. You saw the $1.1 billion offer to Mbappe, $322 million of that just to get him out of his contract. I say to you this. Will the Saudis crack one of the major four sports in America in the next 2 years?
Oof, in the next 2 years, I don't know. But the next team that is up for bid, they will absolutely be a big player and probably buy a team in each league or multiple teams in each league. They're coming. They're coming, and they will own American sports in the not too distant future, within the next 10 years, I'd say, they will own American. They will own the sports landscape in this country.
Liv was a precursor. It's going to take them a while to get to the NFL. They'll be the last one to fall, but it'll be interesting.
They will be the last ones to fall.
Yeah, they'll be the last ones to fall.
But NHL, Major League Baseball, where there's no cap.
Yeah, those two are going early. And then baseball, MLB will have a clutch for a while, and then they'll go down fighting. Maz, what say you? Next 2 years.
The Saudis will have a team in one of the pro leagues, no question about it. So I'll say no cap.
All right. You know what, Parker, for you, go ahead with your three.
You want my question?
My man Parker up there. I said, why don't you come up with three? Parker, what did you come up with?
Not Parker.
So my first one is the Lions will be a top 3 offense in the league this year, cap or no cap.
Nice.
Who wants to go first?
Top 3. They were top 4 last year.
I'll go first. I'll say that's cap. That's cap. You said top 3. I'm just looking at it from right now. You got too many pieces, I believe, that are new. Jahmyr Gibbs trying to figure it out with David Montgomery, who's also trying to figure it out. And there's no J-Mo till week 6. So top 3, that's a tough atom to slice. I mean, you said top 7 maybe. Top 5, top 3, I don't know.
I'm going to say no cap. I think they could be the number 1 offense in all of the NFL this year. How were they the number 4 offense last year? I mean, think about that.
They're improved.
In the NFL, they were number 4 last year, and they got better significantly. They've upgraded at running back. They've upgraded at wide receiver. They've upgraded at tight end. They've upgraded their offensive line. They got better, and I don't think you can understate the fact that this is how many. I wish I would have done the homework on this before I'm about to say this, because there can't be that many teams that are returning their head coach and both coordinators for a 3rd straight year. that has got to be very rare in today's NFL, where you have coach, quarterback, coordinators returning for 3 straight years. The fact that they are so in sync with each other, I don't think you can understate that.
Yeah, the fact that it doesn't happen is because usually when you go 3-13-1, you don't make it to a third year. Dan Campbell has made it to a third year.
Yeah.
The only question I would ask you, how do they upgrade at running back and how do they upgrade at wide receiver?
I think the combination of Montgomery and Gibbs is better than Jamal Williams and Swift.
Part-time
Swift. I really do.
Okay.
At wide receiver, I think Amon-Ra is better. I think Marvin Jones is better than Chark. Chark at the end of the year really showed flashes and was really good. And they will get Jamison Williams back, who even you said we expect him to have 1,000-yard season this year. So
don't forget Mims.
And Mims is out here making plays. So I do think they're better there. And of course, Laporta at tight end.
Matt, go to you.
Remains to be said.
At least I gave you an argument.
No. And that's why I'm saying that.
Right.
I'm gonna do a half cap because I think they'll be top 5. I don't know about top 3.
Top 3 is
half
stretching.
cap.
Yeah.
Don't forget Sam Laporta's on that offense too, and we're gonna hear from him in just a little bit.
I like Sam Laporta.
Yeah.
I like him a lot. I'm just saying top 3. Like so we've jumped over a lot of offenses.
Yeah.
You jumped into number 3 overall. But it's good.
But Ryan's got some great points. You got your quarterback, your coach, and your coordinator, all 3. And I went through my head about all 3 of them, and maybe the Rams have that.
They replaced an offensive coordinator.
Did they replace a coordinator?
Yep.
Okay. I get the Niners.
Yeah.
Maybe
they replaced the defensive coordinator.
They replaced the quarterback.
Well, Purdy is.
Well, I'm
with you.
I'm saying for a third straight year.
I'm with you.
Purdy played like 8 games last year.
I think you're right.
So, I mean,
I think you're right.
It's not like he's, it's not like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you.
I can't wait to the first game of the season. I just really want to see what this offense looks like, because I see it very differently than you guys. But I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm just hoping I'm wrong.
And I think you are.
I'm hoping
wrong.
I'm wrong.
Guys, we'll take a break. Come right back. When we do, we'll have John Bacon coming up bottom of the hour in about 15, 20 minutes from now. Also, next, you will hear Dan Campbell talk about James Houston, what he expects out of this player. And are we jumping the gun a little bit on just these wild expectations in the growth for so many players from year 1 to year 2? What it takes. But first, a message from Planet Fitness.
Yes, because summertime is a great time to join Planet Fitness and beat low E. Planet Fitness is your home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and I do mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym with tons of equipment, a full body workout in just 30 minutes in a 30-minute circuit, and all memberships include fitness training. Now, your fitness is essential, and fitness is a key part of your physical and mental well-being, which is why Planet Fitness is partnered with teens between the ages of 14 and 19 to work out for free all summer long with their high school summer pass program. For more information or to join today, visit your local Planet Fitness, or as always, check them out online at planetfitness.com.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Big Boy Strawberry Fest has officially arrived, and we're here to show you the very best flavors of the season. Satisfy your sweet tooth with our deep-fried vanilla Oreos, strawberry hot fudge cake, and a slice of our classic strawberry pie. But that's not all. Cool off on a refreshing summer splash salad, or savor the flavors of our chicken Caesar wrap and strawberry bacon chicken wrap. And for breakfast lovers, don't miss out on our strawberry hotcakes or our mouth-watering red velvet waffle. Strawberry Fest is something for everyone. Celebrate the sweet season with us at Big Boy.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network. Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Hey guys, how would you like to play golf like a celebrity? Be like Braylon and D-Mac, even Jim Harbaugh. You got a chance. Thanks to Randy Wise Automotive and Woodward Sports, you can be able to do that. It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour. The Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour makes the wise decision, make the wise choice, and make sure you visit a Randy Wise dealership as soon as you can, and keep it right here on Woodward Sports for more details on how you can play golf like a celebrity.
It's so funny. I tweeted about the Michigan State game being a night game, and I said awful.
Yeah.
And all these MSU fans are like saying crybaby. I think they think that I say it's awful because it's an unfair advantage to Michigan State.
No, you really think that?
I think that's what they think.
No, I just think they don't like you.
I would agree with that.
Love the attitude here. Real champions run to the pressure, not away from it.
What do you mean pressure?
Right, like
people don't get, like, we're not talking about we fear for Michigan by playing the night game.
I'm just saying I don't want to watch the night game. I don't watch the night game.
Michigan can play whatever time they want to. I just don't have to like it, and I don't like it.
It was a night game last year, right?
I don't like a 7:30 game against a bum-ass Michigan State.
God, I hate Michigan State people.
I do too.
They're just they're horrible people.
Horrible schools,
They're
right now.
miserable people. Michigan State people.
What have I always told you?
They're always mad.
I'd rather beat Michigan State than Ohio State.
They're just always mad. I don't understand why they're so angry. Yeah. What are you so mad about?
Pride comes before the fall.
What are you so mad about?
I mean, if I won one game last year, I'd be pissed too.
Jesus.
Yeah. On the field, off the field.
Either way, all right, guys. I want to play this for you because I think this is important. Couple of different sound bites here. One on the rookies and then on second-year players, because we're always talking about that leap to a second-year player. But first, before I do that, let's talk about the rookies' progress. Here's Dan Campbell from yesterday. No media availability for Dan Campbell today.
You don't expect to see this massive jump. And I would say, man, you see Gibbs. Man, he's doing things, it's a little bit better. Something he was doing yesterday that wasn't good, it was a little bit better today. Same with Laporta, same with Branch, Jack.
So those guys are moving along. They'll get there eventually. Hopefully they can get it before week 8. Like last year, right? I mean...
Yeah, it took them a while to get going last year. And they finally got going. Once they got going, you're like, man, where was this been? Where has this been? Notice a lot of it came, too, after they fired Aubrey Pleasant at DB. But Sam Laporta, I can't wait to see what he does on the field. And another reason why I'm excited about him, Ryan, is his coach, Steve Hyden. Steve Hyden was a tight end for the 4 years I was in Cleveland. Like, he was there. Now, Kellen Winslow was there with me as well, Kellen Winslow Jr., and he had a Pro Bowl season or 2. He should have got it 3 years. But Steve Hyden was a damn good tight end. Like, he knew he was a damn good blocker. He's strong as oak. Like, he looks like an oak tree. He's about my height, about 6'4", strong, knew how to run routes, so he was a damn good route runner as well. Knew the game, knew the offense. We could ask Steve to do a lot of things. We split him out at wide receiver. We split him in the slot, let him come out of the backfield. Steve Hyden was kind of ahead of his time, man, so I'm glad that Sam Laporta will be working with him, because Sam Laporta, what he does, yards after catch, running routes. He's really a big type of wide receiver. You heard Dre Bly on here talking about him earlier. He was excited early on in the year, so I'm excited to see what he can do. Man, he's got a damn good coach, Steve Hyden.
There's no doubt.
He was one of Chris Berman's favorite people to chat about when he would do primetime. Chris Berman with all his nicknames.
Right.
Remember the speed skater, Eric Hyden, won all those gold medals?
I do, yeah.
He would say, Steve Hyden skating his way to the end zone.
I remember that. I remember one of the plays you're talking about. They played the year before we played the Bengals, my rookie year. The Bengals and the Browns played in Cincinnati. I think the score was like 55 to 51. It was like the highest scoring game ever at that time. And Steve Hyden got off, man, for a big dude. I want to say, had 127 yards or something like that. He had like 80-yard touchdown run.
Nice.
It's like 260. He's 260.
Yep, he has a horse.
Keith Jackson.
Guys, the Lions' success, one of the major, obviously the golf aside, one of the major determining factors in whether the Lions have a year in which we think they can have, or if they're going to fall back and just be middle of the pack, is the growth of some of these rookies last year to second-year players this year. Whether it's Aiden Hutchinson or Kirby Joseph, whether it's James Houston or Malcolm Rodriguez or anybody else that had a significant role on this team last year as a rookie. Here's what Dan Campbell had to say about that. We just automatically think these guys are going to take that jump. Here's what he had to say at the podium.
Yeah, I think, look, we're doing a lot with him at Sam linebacker, when we're in base defense. And then certainly he'll play some of that sub-D end or get a chance to on third down. So we know he's got some abilities, some craft, but we're trying to really expand his horizons, if you will. Man, if he can play some of this Sam backer, Charles is really the starter right now. But that it takes, man, he's got to dive into the playbook. He's got to know the calls. He's got to understand all the adjustments to formations, things of that nature. And that's where once he grows, if he can get to that point, now potentially he didn't come off the field. But he's got a long way to go before that happens.
It's interesting, too, about James Houston. He said, look, these guys, all of them, and he mentioned Houston specifically, these guys all have to put the work in. You just don't show up and you're automatically better in year 2 than you were in year 1. James Houston was so good in that 9-game stretch last year or 8-game stretch last year because he worked his tail off. They let him go before they brought him back. And when they let him go, he didn't pout or sulk. He went and he put the work in and he got better. And then he came back and was ready to go. And that's how he performed at the level that he was able to perform at. If he just rests on his laurels this year, and you can insert name here, but he mentioned Houston. If Houston comes back and puts the same work in that he did last year into this offseason and into this training camp, yeah, he is probably going to double that sack total.
He told us that, remember?
Yeah,
we had him on the air here. That's a hungry kid.
He did say that he wasn't wasting any time. He said, why not have 21 this year? He was talking about what he did last year. He was doing the math on it, and he said, hey, why not? And I agree with him. Just listen to these names. I'm going to tell you what they have in common. John Kaminsky, Josh Pascal, Christian Covington, Aiden Hutchinson, Charles Harris, Romeo Okwara.
God, I forgot about Pascal.
100%. I knew you would get excited when I mentioned that name. What are those are the rush ins for the Detroit Lions. What do they have in common? Nothing. None of those guys are alike. They're all different type of rush in. Last year, we didn't even get a chance to see fully what James Houston can do. He's a unique pass rusher in the types of way he dips his shoulders, the way he gets low, the way he plays almost like a safety in terms of the size, but he's big enough to be a defensive end and a rush in. So it's going to be interesting. All these guys are fighting to get to the quarterback. They're fighting to make their mark. They're fighting. This is going to be an interesting camp, but it's going to be a better year because the Lions are going to get to the quarterback, and I'm excited for, look, I still want that interior defensive lineman. I wanted to draft Jalen, you know that. But at the end of the day, one thing about Buggs is he was the leader on that defense last year.
God, I love Buggs.
Isaiah Buggs was the leader on the defense last year. He was the leader on the team. He had one of those voices that you listen to. He got those guys going, and I'm telling you, man, these defensive guys want to make the mark. Kaminsky, look at why he wants.
My guy.
Look at why he wants to make the mark. Never did he feel comfortable anywhere. Never did he feel at home. Now he feels at home. You look at Aiden Hutchinson. Why does he want to make his mark? He wants to prove he belonged the number 2 pick overall. And then you go down the list of James Houston. How many times has somebody told James Houston he couldn't do it or he couldn't be the guy? And yet you saw what he could do last year. It's going to be fun for the defensive inside of this year. And it all starts with Buggs up front. He's going to be the guy to get those guys going.
Hey, a guy like Aleem McNeil, probably in the best shape of his life, said, I'm going to be playing a lot more plays this year. I'm in good. He lost like 50 pounds, as a matter of fact. Then you got Levi Onwuzurike. I know you don't have a lot on him yet with the back injury. But
Second-round pick, man.
I know. Here's a guy that could have been out of the NFL. Remember last year how down Dan Campbell was when they spoke about him? Look, we really can't say anything about him. He's out with the back. Blah. He's part of the team now. Here's a guy, if he can get healthy, that's a wild card,
It's a huge deal. It's a huge deal. It's a huge addition. And Pascal, who you mentioned, who I totally forgot about. Totally forgot he was even alive and on the roster.
And that was going to be my thing on this defensive side. There's so many guys that have been on the team, but maybe not have left their mark yet. Ryan, who are you pulling for most this year? Who do you want to see make their mark with this current Detroit Lions team, this grit team that has a chance to beat the Kansas City Chiefs open tonight?
I'll let you know who that is next, but first a message from Lady Jane's Haircuts. From in walk in any Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience. I got mine today.
Ooh.
It was an award-winning haircut experience.
You were knocked out cold.
Unfortunately for me, because I'm an employee, I cannot be automatically entered to win, but you can be. You will be automatically entered to win not one but 2 vehicles of your choice, courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. That's right, 2 cars One for you, one for your wife, your girlfriend, your best bud. Lady Jane's, it's open 7 days a week. You can walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Detroit sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Like to win a $100,000 Vegas getaway, take your closest friends and live it up in the city that never sleeps. It is the Cintron Energy. Drink it and live it. Purchase a 24-pack today and enter to win the $100,000 Vegas getaway at drinkcintron.com/Vegas and buy Cintron at your local Meijer. Cintron, the healthier energy drink that tastes great and the choice of people who desire to look good, feel great, and be the best version of themselves. drinkcintron.com/Vegas.
Welcome.
Good already.
Yeah, that's right. WoodwardSports.com. Braylon, you asked me, and guys, let me know. I'm just going to keep going here until you tell me we have John U. Bacon. Fair enough?
Yeah.
Is he V-Mix or a phone call? V-Mix. Very good.
Is he on vacation?
No, but he's doing other stuff
Very
up
good.
till 3:30.
Yeah, just let me know when he pops on. Braylon, you asked me, who am I rooting for, quote unquote?
Like last year, not to cut you off, we know who your guy was. Your guy last year was DB, number 1 from Ohio State.
Loved Okudah.
Jeff Okudah. I forgot his name already.
Yeah.
Jeff Okudah was your guy last year. Who's your guy this year that you're pulling for?
Amon-Ra.
He's already good, though.
I know, but I think Amon-Ra could be a top 4 wide receiver numbers-wise this year. Numbers-wise. That's the guy I'm rooting for. Hutchinson is a player that if Aiden Hutchinson can become a Nick Bosa, a Joey Bosa, if he can be that guy, then this team is going to have an immense opportunity, huge opportunity to be good for a very long time, because they need the defensive side of the ball to just not be great, just be somewhat average, middle of the pack. The offense is there. If their defense can go from 30 to 16 or 15, then this team, the possibilities are endless for this team. And in order to do that, you need to get to the quarterback.
Well, you're no fun. You pick the guys that are already Pro Bowlers. Maz, I'll go first and I'll throw it to you. Speaking of young guys, speaking of defense, I want Kirby Joseph. Kirby Joseph is the guy that I'm looking for, as I'm pulling for. Because when you got a good safety on your team, it's fun to watch. Minka Fitzpatrick has been my favorite safety to watch the last couple of years. If it could be what Minka has been for the Miami Dolphins and Steelers, they're going to be damn good. And then on the offensive side, Sam Laporta. I think the tight end market right now is wide open for there to be another tight end to come on the scene and become one of the big dogs in the top 5 guys. I think if Sam Laporta has a really good year, he could jump in the top 5 right now in tight ends right now, because it's kind of dwindling market. There's some good players. It's Freiermuth out here, but there's no dogs outside of Travis Kelce. I think it's open for guys to step in. I think Sam Laporta could be that guy.
Am I allowed to pick my guy, CJ?
You are.
CJ Gardner-Johnson is my guy. I'm telling you, he is going to change the way people look at this defense. And I know I go back to Ndamukong Suh and how proud a Lion fan I was when he was part of the team. I know he was the villain of the NFL. I kind of liked it. That's right. Thank you, Sheila. I kind of liked it. And I want CJ to be in everyone's face talking crap to everyone and showing that secondary how it's done. And he's going to help guys like Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph, and the rest of these guys, Jerry Jacobs. It's a completely different thing. Cam Sutton. On offense, I'm going to go with Denzel Mims.
It's a great question.
I'm rooting hard for Denzel Mims. I want this kid to be what the Jets thought he was going to be. He's got the height. He's got to catch the ball like he did at Baylor. I think he could be a secret weapon for this Lions team if he makes the team and he shows what he can do.
You know who I'm also rooting for? I'm really rooting for him. It's Jared Goff. I am rooting for him. And I think everybody here is obviously rooting for Jared Goff, but the moral of the story is this guy has been – people have been trying to replace Jared Goff since he came into the NFL, and I've been doing it too. Yeah. And this is a year where you think he can get better on his 29-7 touchdown to interception ratio. You think he can maybe improve on 4,400 yards. This guy had a great year last year.
He did.
A great year. And if he can turn that great year and make it even greater, I'm rooting for that guy because, then they draft his replacement most likely in Hendon Hooker. He's just always been trying to be replaced. And it's a win for the Detroit Lions if he is good, obviously.
Another guy I'm looking for to have a big year, his initials are JG, but it's not Jared Goff. It's Jahmyr Gibbs. And the reason why I'm looking for him to have a big year, and I'm hoping he has a big year, how many people laughed when Jahmyr Gibbs was picked? Do you know what it's like to get drafted and people laugh at the pick? Can you imagine how people felt? Like if you were Donovan McNabb. Remember when Donovan McNabb was drafted?
Yep.
And all the Philly fans booed? Can you imagine that feeling? And that's the type of feeling Jahmyr Gibbs felt in terms of, damn, he was even surprised. It's one thing to be surprised, it's another thing to disrespect. And I think he's got a chip on his shoulder. He's got a first place chip. He's in a unique position. He's in a position that he was disrespected, but he's also a top 15 pick. So it's going to be interesting to watch, and I'm supporting him.
And again, another guy, I'm rooting for all these guys, but Cam Sutton.
Yeah, we had him on the show.
You know, Cam Sutton was with us. He signed a long-term deal with the Detroit Lions. He comes over from Pittsburgh, and he's a guy that I think you lean on defensively as a leader. He is healthy. He's one of the few guys that seems to be healthy back there. Mosley is not back yet. C.J. Gardner-Johnson not practicing yet. So we'll see, Bray. I mean, there's so many guys, and that's part of what makes this season, at least this offseason, great. You know, one of the things about the bad boy Pistons, not the bad boy Pistons, the going to work Pistons.
Gotcha.
So the going to work Pistons, all of these guys had a story behind them.
Yeah.
And you rooted for them. You rooted for that story. You rooted for each of these guys individually and then collectively as a team. And I think with this Lions team, all these individual players have some sort of story, somebody trying to knock them down, some injury, somebody disrespecting them, where all of these stories gets the fan base behind you. And I'm all about this team. I like this team. I like these players. And I think they can do a lot of great things this year.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's definitely going to be fun. And the thing about it, too, is they were 3-13-1 together. A lot of these guys on this team, man, they come from the same identity. They've been building this. They were there last year when they were 1-6. They remember what it was like when people were thinking about getting rid of players, getting rid of coaches, including Dan Campbell. And then they fought back to go 8-2 in the last 10 games. And then it was the offseason. And then they had this great offseason for the free agent market. And then they had another good draft. It's going to be a fun year, man. It's been a great, I guess you could say, 2-year ride for us, you know what I'm saying? Because we came into this when they came into this. So as they go, we go. So it's going to be a fun process to watch this. I'm also wanting to see Dan Campbell. I want to see him year 3. Who's Dan Campbell? This is a major game. He's coming out Thursday Night Football against the Kansas City Chiefs, the team that are the reigning defending Super Bowl champs, the reigning defending MVP and Super Bowl MVP. You're playing against them, opening game. Who's Dan Campbell going to be in that game? How is he going to coach? What's the comfort level that he's going to have with his squad in Arrowhead? I can't wait to see that. That's something I'm charting.
No doubt about it. Guys, we're going to take a break. We are expected to be joined by John Baker. We'll try to get that connection. If not, we'll continue on with some NFL talk. But first, a message, Tom Mazawey, from Big Boy.
All right, as I try to get John, you all straight here, but we will get him on. I promise you that. But, he loves Big Boy as much as all of us do. And you can start your day off because it's Strawberry Fest. You want to start off with the strawberry hotcakes or the mouth-watering red velvet waffles. If that doesn't scratch your itch, how about getting the strawberry bacon chicken wrap or the refreshing summer splash salad? And those desserts are the best. How about it? The classic strawberry pie, the mouth-watering vanilla Oreos, deep fried as a matter of fact, and the strawberry hot fudge cake, all could be yours If you hit the big boy, do it.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer. The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network. How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Yo, join us. This Friday we'll be at Dispo Romeo. 12 locations. You know what time it is, 21 and up. Recreation only, but look, they have the best brands, the best name brands. I'm talking about Highman, talking about Runts. This is what they do. It's a lot of fun. Maz, you know about those gummies at Dispo.
Oh, yeah.
Don't they treat you right? How cool is Riley? And everybody else over
at
Dispo Romeo.
The best.
Best people in the game. We will be out there all 4 shows. So join us in Romeo. Come out, have a good time. And you mentioned Woodward. You might get you might get a discount off the cannabis stuff. Come out to Dispo on Friday. It's gonna be a lot of fun, man.
That's right. Can't wait for that.
Cannabis connection, man.
Oh man, look.
I'm looking to re-up too, man. My supply, my stash ran out.
Oh man, can't wait for that. I gotta re-up too.
You ain't gotta re-up. On some what? Some gummies? Hush up over there. And right, I was thinking about it. So the Lions are missing Jamison Williams for the first 6 games of the season. You've made it clear that that's going to be a handicap for him, and I was right there with you. It was like, damn, I wish they could have one of their best wide receivers, a young guy, get him going against the Kansas City Chiefs. But what if that's not a handicap? What if that's not a handicap? And what I mean by that, Ryan, is he's going to miss the first 6 games of the season, which means the teams that they play after the next 11 games, they're not going to have the type of film on him to be able to scout him, to be able to know exactly where he's going to be. He's kind of coming in. It's like an extra player, if you will. That first game that he comes back, guess who it's against? It's against the Ravens. So it's like essentially having a secret weapon against the Ravens. Yes, they're going to look at some film from last year, but they didn't really use him on anything. They didn't really use him in Ben Johnson's offense like they'll be using him this game. You mean to tell me it's going to be easy for the Ravens to pick up on how they use him in that game? Then you got the Raiders the week after that. That's another game. Then you got the Chargers at the Chargers. You're getting Jamison Williams for the Ravens game. That's one of the hard games that you play, if not the hardest game next to the Chiefs. Then you get him for the Chargers game. They've only going to see him, 2 times on film? They got 2 weeks of film on Jamison Williams, a player that is electric. And then you got the Bears and Green Bay and the rest of the bums that you'll play at the end of the year. I think it actually could help them from that standpoint. It sucks not having one of your best guns, but it could be beneficial.
No doubt. All right, well, something to keep an eye on. Guys, let's go to our V-Mix line now and bring in the great John U. Bacon. John U., you there? Yes.
There he is.
Oh, God, we can't hear him, though. John, we apologize for this. I cannot hear John. I'm sorry. Parker. I can't hear him. Oh, okay. Very good.
Oh, shit.
I know you are. Yeah. I know you are. It's just really frustrating.
Yeah, but don't be mad at them, though. That ain't their fault.
Well, I'm mad at the situation, Frank.
Yeah, but don't be mad at them, though. Well, put it back up there.
Who can I be mad at?
Them. To the right.
How about we just don't have any guests anymore? Does that make it easier? We just don't have any more
effing guests.
Just F it all.
I mean,
unless they could come in live, we're not going to have any guests anymore.
I mean,
Jesus.
You would think that we'd be able to get these locked in at this point. We apologize to the audience. I apologize to the audience.
Oh, man,
and the
look
guests.
at that.
But holy frickin' Toledo. It is so nasty out there right now.
This is horrible.
Wow. Crazy. My goodness. We apologize to John U. Bacon, that's for sure.
Why don't we run around the NFL until we get him on?
Yeah, let's go around the NFL, Maz. I don't know what to tell you, dude. I don't know what to tell you. What do you want me to tell you?
Take a break, and we'll come right back.
All right, we'll take a break. More next.
Right there.
He's not paying attention.
Right there.
Oh, God.
Right there.
Very good. All right.
Guardian Alarm.
What do you need me to do? Guardian Alarm. They're your local security experts and have been for over 90 years. When you see that black and yellow sign out in front of the house, it tells the bad guys one thing.
Stay out.
Whether you are at home or on the road, they're 24/7 professional monitoring, customized solutions from real experts, and technology backed by the best means you are backed by the best. Call this number right here, 1-800.
Stay out.
That number again, 1-800.
Stay out.
Call them today. Tom Woodward Sports sent you.
Stay out.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
He is something else. How big is that?
All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour.
You're a good coach, Tim. Oh, great shot.
Some of the biggest names in Michigan sports, and some, well, not so much.
Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah, baby.
Watch episodes at woodwardsports.com.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit. The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network. Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
Hey, Mr. Bacon, sorry about that. This is Jeremy calling on behalf of Woodward Sports.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Welcome back to Ermanni and Edwards with me, Maz, and Chad Johnson in the house. We just had a beauty here. You guys missed it. And I've never done a show here at Woodward Sports in the night, at nighttime. It is nighttime outside. It looks like Florida during a hurricane.
Glad I got my car washed.
This unbelievable weather right now has hit us.
We did the pregame when Michigan played Georgia. So that's the only time I've ever seen it nighttime here was at
I've never seen weather like this hit us that quick. So I'm going to blame the weather on us not being able to see our good friend John U. Bacon, but I think we have him on the bat phone. We bring him up, our good friend and New York Times bestseller, Michigan Insider, our friend John U. Bacon. John, are you still with us, my friend?
I am with you, Matt. Hello.
Hello, my God. All right, Brian, I'm going to send it to you and Braylon now.
Hey, John, I just got to tell you,
man.
It's always good to talk to you, but when I see you in person, wait till you find out what happened before. We got you on here. It's going to be great.
Oh, man. I was
Fireworks.
John,
Fireworks.
I was hot. I apologize for the technical problems there. I don't want to waste your time, but my goodness, thanks for hanging with us tough here on the phone. John, I wanted to ask you, just the news of this impending 4-game suspension How do you react to it? What's your initial thoughts on this impending suspension for Jim Harbaugh?
Well, I mean, there's a lot we don't know. Obviously, we've not seen the report. We don't know. They say he lied, and he says he didn't. So it's very difficult to get to the bottom of that one, obviously. But it does seem like, as usual, the NCAA is really good at misdemeanors, really bad at felonies. So there we go. That sounds better. Really good at misdemeanors and very bad at felonies. They've got Michigan on what appears to be 4 misdemeanors. And all level 2 violations, cheeseburgers, recruiting during a dark period, etc. An analyst, I believe, on the field, coaching, all that stuff. And the only question is the level 1 violation, which is the felony, which, if you take the NCAA's word on it, it's basically Harbaugh was lying. The felony is that he's lying about a misdemeanor. That's what it looks like.
Huh.
So,
well,
anyway.
John,
tricky language.
I talk to a lot of Michigan fans, as do you. There's not one of them that thinks this is anything but a nothing burger, for lack of a better way to say it. I mean,
right.
Are we
making too light?
Are we making too much light of this, or does that you invoke the word Michigan, and everybody that is anti-Michigan is going to make this the biggest thing in the world? Because to me, this is an absolute nothing burger. This is the NCAA just trying to do anything they can to stay relevant.
Well, that's the other question, too. It's kind of like charging a man for cannabis possession. You can currently get it on any street corner in Ann Arbor, legally. So these rules are a bit outdated, obviously. So you've got, Tennessee did get a penalty of $8 million, I think. Jeremy Pruitt, the previous coach, has got in trouble. But Tennessee did not lose a single game. No one there is over 200-some violations. Now, Michigan head coach Jim Harbaugh and perhaps Sharon Moore and Grant Houston will also miss 1 game each. So, I mean, honestly, when the Texas A&M athletic director, Bjork, basically tells the NCAA to go take a hike, and the NCAA listens, how much pull do they have left? It's like
exactly.
The last chance to develop. And I would say that we're at Michigan State or Western Michigan or anything else. It strikes me. Again, I don't know all the details.
Sure.
So let's wait on that.
Just going with what we know.
The whole thing just seems pretty doggone silly. That's for sure. And the NCAA, I mean, there's a president there, Charlie Baker. He's been almost as invisible as Mark Emmert was. So there's no leadership there at all. It's hard to take the NCAA too seriously at this point.
John, first of all, I totally agree with you. Secondly, if Sharon Moore also has a suspension, who do you? I mean, is it Mike Hart? Who do you think would be the game day head coach for Michigan? There's not a lot of head coaching experience on the actual coaching roster.
That is completely right, and basically none. So good question on that one. I would say it would be more, were it not for his 1 game suspension. So I would pick up more games 2, 3, 4 on this. Game 1, either Mike Hart, possibly Jay Harbaugh, but I've got no indication there.
Hey, John Ubeck, what's going on? Long time no talk. Here's my question. I mean, I believe it's a big nothing burger at the end of the day. I mean, were rules broken? Hey, according to him, he misremembered. It was a dead period. It was whatever else. It wasn't that big of a deal. But my question is bigger than that. When you start to compile all the things that's going on in Michigan, not on the field, but off the field, and the bunch of nothing burgers, but those nothing burgers start adding up, whether it's Matt Weiss, whether it's the tunnel, how you handle that, whether it's Mazawey Smith, whether it's now the dead period, there's a lot of things that have come up. Is somebody at some point going to have to take the blame for that? Is at some point we're looking at Harbaugh and we're looking at Ward Manuel putting them against each other? Because I find it very interesting that the hired Santa Ona, now they have an individual that be non-biased to either one of these coaches, and I think Ward Manuel is the guy that I'm looking for that's going to be in trouble.
We'll see. I don't think their trouble is reaching a toxic level at this stage. That's Ono's call, President Ono's call, not mine, obviously. Mazawey Smith's case strikes me as more of a PR issue. We have questions about that. I talked to prosecutors around the state, and how they handle that was pretty benched. He was not getting a sweetheart deal, but that had to be communicated. I think the issue here often is communication more than the issues going on. But, I mean, you raise a fair point that it's been a steady drumbeat. Last year was the Michigan hockey report, for example. That came out a year ago. So, I mean, there has been some of that, no doubt about it. How much it adds up to, that's Ono solved. I would not place it too high on my list compared to what I see elsewhere. But, you know, like I said, the flip side is Michigan just got another perfect score, 1,000 on the academic progress report for football. And that puts you in the top 4 or 5 nationwide with Stanford of the world and things like that. So you can't call it a renegade program. But the bigger question is, what are now the guidelines? What are now the rules? The NCAA seems to be shrinking before our eyes. And that's a real question.
Yeah, now that I got the job, the professionalism of being an analyst out the way, now I can be a Michigan guy. Like, how much of this is just a witch? How much of this is just a witch hunt? I mean, we know it. Michigan's the big brand right now. Michigan's #1 in the Big Ten. Everybody wants to come after Michigan. The NCAA, they mean nothing. They have no say, no word. They're looking for a win. They're looking to hit the big bully right between the eyes, like Matt said yesterday, and it's 100% right. All this is a witch hunt. But guess what? I think they pissed off the wrong school, and I think the players are going to rally around Harbaugh. So watch out for that.
Well, my years watching Coach Harbaugh, I would say that he's at his best when he's in a corner. For example, 2010 or 2020 when they're 2-4, that was his best year of coaching coming up. 2021.
Yeah.
And last year was very good too. So, and the players rally around it. The dumb thing for the players or the program to do would be to start sniping at the NCAA in public. Smart thing to do is to keep it internal in the locker room and use it as fuel. You did raise one more point, Braylon, that is worth addressing, the Matt Weiss situation, former quarterback coach. You know what? I've not heard a thing about that, and he was fired for something.
Exactly.
And I have no idea what it was to this day, which is very unusual. Usually by now we've all heard something, and I don't even have a hint. So whatever that was, that will get out sooner or later, and that is a curious situation. It does not seem to involve athletics, whatever it was. But I don't know.
I believe.
So,
not to cut you off. I didn't mean to cut you off, Jay. It just hit me on my head. I believe that's what most people that are mad at Michigan or mad at the calls or mad at whatever this is. Most people that are mad at Michigan are mad at that we don't know what happened with the Matt Weiss situation. I think that's what I don't even know what happened with the Matt Weiss situation, and I think that's what a lot of people, Ryan, are pissed off about. Whether it's Michigan State or whether it's people that just don't like what's going on in Michigan as it relates to NCAA. It's that Matt Weiss situation is a complete what's going on.
Yeah, well, until that comes out, I mean. But again, it's very unusual, Braylon, I think you'd agree, that this is 6-7 months later, and I don't have the slightest clue. And I don't know anybody who does, which is even rarer. So,
don't forget about Shimmy.
We'll see what happens there. The Shimmy, we talked about that one. That's just most of these situations are unforced errors, frankly.
Correct.
Self-inflicted wounds.
Hey, John, I sent you those texts, those tweets from Dan Dockich, and we all talked about him earlier today. And we know he's Urban Meyer's guy, and he's got maybe a beef to pick with Michigan. His kid played for Jawan Howard here. I don't know what his beef is, but it's a big beef, and I know you have a little respect for him as well. But what's your take on guys like that out there?
Well, I know Dan a little bit. I certainly know his history with Bob Knight, of course, being a great player for Indiana and those great 80s teams. I taught his son at Michigan. I can't say a lot about that due to FERPA laws, but got along with him very well. I wrote him a strong letter for transfer when the time came, and I would do it again. But the tweet you sent me about him complaining about Michigan media covering for Harbaugh and football and so on, man, I haven't seen that, and I'm one of the guys who doesn't cover. So, I can't speak to that, but I can tell you, I mean, you heard about the hockey report first from me. In August of last year, I broke that story.
Yep.
And said that, Mel Pearson, a guy I like and respect very much, a friend. But the report was pretty clear that he had lied to investigators on serious issues. And that alone makes it a very hard thing to break. It's not clear what's happened to Harbaugh. And if he was lying about anything, was it him? That's the next question. But, I mean, talking to a guy who once had his press pass pulled from the University of Michigan, so I don't think you can accuse Michigan media of being terrible stuff. That's not my thing.
Hey, John, last question because we're up against it, but I'm curious your take. For the second year in a row, Michigan will play Michigan State at night. 3 night games so far for Michigan. I hate it. What say you?
I hate it, too, because it's not necessary. I think Michigan State has established itself as a great national rivalry of national importance. You have to credit D'Antonio for that, winning 8 out of 10 years against Michigan, obviously. So that's a big deal. I don't think, hey, Braylon.
Yeah.
I believe you had a pretty big game one day against Michigan State.
This is true.
I've never seen a performance like that before for a receiver or since.
I appreciate that,
but
brother.
that's not there you go. But that, like Ohio State, is not a rivalry you need to jack up for the night game. I don't know why they're doing that, except for TV, of course.
No doubt about it. John Yu, thanks so much. Really appreciate it, my friend. Thanks for sticking with us. Sorry about the technical issues. We'll get those cleared up. All right, you rock, man.
See you, John.
Appreciate you,
Check
John.
out John Yu
Thanks for sticking with us.
on Twitter. Go buy one of his books, too. A New York Times best-selling author, Michigan historian, on Twitter at John Yu Bacon. Fellas, great day today. Braylon, get us out.
Look, besides the weather, it's been a great day. We'll be doing this again tomorrow. Michigan will figure out that situation. But Detroit Lions, they're the team to beat the NFC, it seems, right now. And they're having a damn good camp. So we'll find out more about those guys tomorrow. See what Dan Campbell's up to since he didn't speak today. For my man, JB Parker, man's on the couch, and my brother from another mother, Ryan. I love you, brother.
Oh, love you, baby.
Brothers got a hug, man.
Isn't that great?
And fight, too. I love it. See you guys tomorrow.